Hello everyone. So today I am going to share the a speech which I was supposed to perform in the Elocution in the CA Student National Talent Search Elocution competition, and for which I did not appear. So I was just um, very curious to share what would I say had I appeared for that. So here I begin. And the topic is the power of positive attitude. So, firstly, I would like to say that what is positive? What do you mean by positivity? Positivity, by the dictionary meaning, it means full of hope and confidence, or maybe giving a cause for hope and confidence. But today I will give you a whole different level of perspective, and I'm sure it will make a difference in your life. So, according to me, positivity is, what? We experience a certain emotions, and emotions are of two categories, like positive emotions and negative emotions. Now, what are positive emotions? They mean high higher frequency emotions, whereas negative emotions, they mean lower frequency emotions. And examples of certain emo- positive emotions, they are joy, happiness, great gratitude, passion, love. These are higher frequency emotions. Whereas negative emotions, we can all say it: hate, anger, jealousy, hurt, disappointment, sadness, and the list goes on. And I heard this from Mitesh Khatri sir, that emotions, they become our habits, which means that our minds are unconsciously trained to respond to certain triggers with a default emotional reaction, which means, therefore, I can conclude, or I believe to conclude, I am full of belief to conclude that somebody whose default emotional reaction is of higher frequency, they are positive people, which means that uh, irrespective of whatever situation they go through, you know maybe temporarily they might not feel good, but ultimately they emit positive vibrations. Now, before we talk about how to be positive, now that's a big concept, we should know what is the power of positive attitude, which the topic is for. Now, as I just said, that emotions, I talked about emotions. Now, emotions are a consequence of what we think, or what we believe. And what happens is that whatever we truly believe and think about something is what we manifest in our lives. Yes, you heard me right. Which means that you do not manifest or attract in your life what you want. You attract what you believe about your dream, about your desire, which you want. Which means law of attraction works with law of resonance. Law of resonance means you will attract only those things if you are vibrating at that frequency. So, for example, you want iPhone, but what are your thoughts about that? You think, I don't deserve an iPhone. iPhone is too costly. How can I have so much of money? How will I earn? I earn less. I don't know how to afford it. And you think maybe that people with, um, you know, uh, who are rich, or maybe kids who are spoiled brats, they get iPhones. No, you will never attract or manifest that in your life because you think so much negative about that particular, that gadget, iPhone, which you want. Like deep down, you want ki, I want iPhone, but then you think all these things. You think very negative about the subject matter what you're trying to manifest. So, hence, positive attitude is so important. Whatever you want in your life, you can attract only if you feel positive about it deep down of you. Now, another reason why one should be positive, or the power of positive attitude, is the one who is positive, you know, tends to be more healthier. Yes, you heard me right. Now, you will say, how does health gets impacted by that? I'll tell you how. Because, you know, um, I'll explain this with the help of an example. You will understand it better. Examples help a lot. Now, for example, there is one teacher who is scolding two students, student A and student B. Now, the teacher is very angry because both of them did not do their homework, and he scolds them, he shouts upon them. Now, student A is least bothered. He is like, I don't care, fine. In his mind, he's very cool and very calm. But student B is profusely crying and is very guilty that how could I forget, and he's very upset, very hurt of himself, and also a little bit, disappointed that why the teacher shouted so much. So, what can you conclude from this is that the one who is showing the negative emotions, who was that? The teacher. Now he was angry, he was shouting on top of his voice. Now, if anybody was there to check his impulse or his heart rate, it would have increased. You agree with me? It would have increased. But on the other hand, there is always an option on the receiving end, which means out of student A and B, B got affected, A did not get affected. Even though the teacher scolded equally to both of them, scolded both of them at the same time, but A was not affected, B was affected, which means the one who is showing, or who is giving out that negative emotions, is going to be unhealthy instead of the person to whom it is being shown, because there is always an option on the receiving end to feel that hurt or not. Because no one can actually hurt us. It's upon us how we perceive how somebody says us. So, and also, what happens is that if these negative emotions, we can never show 100% of it. We always feel that a part of it is still there left in us, and we keep thinking and pondering about it. And what happens is, negative emotions once get stored in our body, they manifest in form of diseases and illness. Yes, you heard me right. And one day you find somebody experiencing diabetes, is going through cancer, or is having any cervical problem, spondylitis, anything, is something which happens so sudden, is never so sudden. It's always gradual. And your emotions, your thinking pattern has a big hand in its contribution. Okay, now I'll give you one more example about placebo effect. I'm sure you must all have heard about placebo. Now, placebo effect means that when a person's health improves because of placebo treatment. Placebo means dummy treatment. Yes, without any actual treatment, a person recovers from his disease or illness. I'll explain with the help of an example. Examples are best, they just make the concept very easy. Now, there was one scientist who had performed this experiment. There were two cancer patients, okay, cancer patients, and out of which one was given proper medication, and the another one was told that he is being given medication, but in reality he was being given no medication. He was actually being given candy, just normal candies, and he was told that you take them, these are medicines. He was told very positive stuff, that if you have them you will heal, just start being happy, you will recover from these disease. And that the other person was actually given medicines which were not in reality medicines. He was told that these are medicines, but they were not. And he was just given too much of positive talks and everything, and he was kept motivated. At the end it was found that both of them recovered, which means the person who was given actual medication, he got healed from cancer, and the person who was given that placebo treatment, he also healed. Yes, without any actual medicine, he healed. Because of positive emotions, the body itself starts to heal. So it's so important to be positive. And another point I'll talk about relationships is that, um, from a spiritual way of thinking, that if we become positive, we don't judge people around us. Sometimes what happens is that we expect a lot, and we expect a lot from people because of their role in our life. For example, you expect a lot from your partner. Your partner should give you time. You compare, see other partners give time, they give gifts, they spend quality time, and they go to parties, and maybe they celebrate every small achievements together. They do this, they do that, and you think that that a partner is supposed to do that. And maybe your partner is not someone who is very maybe he is occupied in work, and maybe he gives you time, but not as much as you see others giving their partners time. Or maybe you find that your partner is very asocial, and you are like, he doesn't take you out or something, and you both can't hang out and this and that. You And just understand, you're not understanding that person's soul, and you're just comparing. You are not looking him through his soul, but looking him through the role he is playing in your life. He is a partner, which means he is supposed to spend time with you. Just understand, you are looking him from a partner's perspective, not from a soul's perspective. I'll take another example. Now, what happens is that there was a family of swimmers, which means both mother and father, they were swimmers. They had two children, both of them were swimmers. The third children, now he also was being given training how to swim. Now, for years he was being given training how to swim. Now the child is not able to learn swimming, and he is very scared, and he says his parents, I can't swim, I can't swim. And he's always very, he's very phobic of water. And his parents judge him a lot, like, why is he not able to swim? I wanted like our family to be full of swimmers, and this is the only person who is not able to learn swimming. We have given so much time, so much efforts, money is wasted. You are looking and expecting stuff from people because of the role they play in your life, because he is that child, that soul was his son, and she was expecting him to learn, because other members of of her family, they were also doing swimming. Now, what if I said you that soul, that younger child who was not able to swim in his previous birth, he got separated from his family because of flood, and he died because of flood. Yes, and because of which in this birth he is so scared of water. Would you judge that soul anymore? No. Which means being positive, understanding spirituality, because if you are positive now, you will somehow tend to be spiritual. You will never judge any soul because of the role they play in your life. And hence, I would like to say that I'm sure you all are convinced that being positive is so important, and it affects, and it will affect all facets of your life. be it health, relationship, career, finance, anything and everything. Now we come to another important topic, which is how to be positive. Very important. How can I be positive? I'll again give an example, which is of CA Neha Datta. I heard this from one of her podcasts, wherein she said that, one should, build a garden instead of trying to attract butterflies. Now, I will extrapolate and explain it. Now, building a garden means to be positive, okay, and attracting butterflies, it means to, you know, attract one desires at a time. Now, we should all build a garden. Now, building a garden, which means to be positive, it takes time, it takes, and building a garden, uh, not just bringing plants and putting them, but rather bringing seeds or saplings and sowing them in the garden, giving them the right fertilizers, watering them every day, taking care of them. It will take time, it will take weeks to months to build a beautiful garden, which means it will take time to be positive. And once the garden is built, okay, it will start bearing fruits. Butterflies will automatically start attracting in that garden. Sunlight will also help and it will grow. And you have to keep watering them, okay? You have to keep checking the soil and the fertilizers are there properly or whatever. You have to maintain your garden, which means that one has to take so much efforts to be positive. You have to work on it and then you have to maintain it for life. And then you will see that whatever you want, which is the fruits and the butterflies, it will become very easy to attract in your life. It will automatically come because you're building an environment which is conducive for them, because you are at high vibration, so they will naturally happen in your life. So I'll state one more example, which is of Abraham Hicks example. She said that how to be positive. Consider you want a water bottle to no, not a you want a bottle to float on water, which means to be positive. You want a bottle to float on water, and now you are holding that bottle with both your hands with pressure beneath the water. Now you're expecting it to float. How will it float? You have to release that pressure, you have to let go of your hands from that bottle, and it will automatically rise above the water and it will float. Which means that releasing and removing your hands is like removing the negatives from your life. So to be positive, you have to remove negativity from within of you to be positive, and you will see that naturally you come to your equilibrium, which is positive. We all are naturally positive. It's just that another example, it's like a white shirt which is tainted with dust and stains and everything. We are innately white from within. We have to wash that shirt and we have to make it white. Now, this example was given by BK Shivani, Brahma Kumari Shivani. I would suggest please watch her channel. Very helpful, very good content she creates. She's an amazing spiritual leader. So, now, as I said, we need to remove the negatives from our life. How can we do that? Now, we will talk about the various ways how can we be positive. Firstly, how to remove the negatives. Very simple trick I'll say you is that whatever you are feeling negativity within of you're not very happy of any situation or event which has happened in your life, write them in a piece of paper, either burn it or tear it. I suggest tear it. Tear them into pieces and throw it in the bin. This commands the brain to remove that negativity from your life. It's something not to be remembered. That's why we are tearing it, throwing it in the bin, right? And another thing I'll talk about, which is Ho'oponopono prayer. Please search about it. It's a very, as fancy as the name sounds, it's very easy. It has 4 sentences. I am sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. It is very good at healing. Now, knowingly, unknowingly, we have actually hurt our soul many a times, and it's very important to heal yourself before you begin your journey into being positive. Until you remove your negativity, you cannot be 100% positive. I'll give you one more example. Now, this was given by one person who runs a YouTube channel. She's a life coach and a certified healer named Priya Mehrotra. Okay, she gave this very beautiful example that now there is a room which is closed, full of dirt and stains and everything, and now you want fresh air to come within it, you want sunlight to come, you want beautiful smell inside that room. What you have to do first? You have to clean. You have to clean the room thoroughly. You have to clean it very nicely and then open the windows. Naturally, the wind will come, sunlight will come, you will have fresh fragrance inside the room, which means that healing will help you manifest whatever you want in your life. Remove that dirt, remove that negativity. It requires efforts, and do it daily. Just like as you maintain your body, once you reach your desired figure, you have to daily keep exercising, which means once you have cleaned the room, you have to daily clean the room. Okay, so that it's nice and fresh. And also, we can add perspective in our life that will make us positive. Just as I gave you the example of relationship, not judging people, just just letting people as they are. Just say this one line: they are a soul on a journey. It's okay. It's okay if they behave in a certain way which you don't understand, because you don't know what they have gone through. And also, I recommend is that whenever you have food, before having your food, always take few deep breaths and be grateful that you are getting to have food every single day. And also, lastly, I will say that remember God. Always remember God, because whomever you remember, your chords get connected to that person or to that being, and you become more of like them. Which means, if you remember, for example, you remember your sibling, okay, and your sibling, consider your sibling has anger issues or this or that, it's more likely that you will become like them. Yes, or whomever you keep your role model, be aware of them, what kind of person they are in real life. Be aware, you will tend to become like them. So it's always better remember God and adapt their characteristics. Gods are so powerful, they are always giving in nature. They are easy to forgive people, they forgive our mistakes. And I would like to end this speech by saying that, by giving an example. I know I've given a lot of examples and I've made this video a bit long, but I'm sure if it will help you, and if you have come up till here, then thank you so much. And I would conclude by saying that, now if you start off a company and it starts earning profits from the 5th year, okay, will you say that it's only because of the efforts that you have put in that particular 5th year? You will say, no baba, we have put efforts since the first year, or maybe even before that, when you had the idea and you had thought of uh, starting a company. From the first, second, third, fourth years, all the cumulative years efforts are involved in achieving the desired net profit in the 5th year. Similarly, keep doing all these practices. You will not achieve in one day, one week. You have had a set pattern, negative thinking for so many years of your life. Do not expect everything to work out within a week or within a month. Work for months and you will experience magic in your life. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.